just basically to defend a lot of stuff that she put out there that was unnecessary. Because her putting out there what happened to me as a child has nothing to do with this case, nothing at all. Her saying that she was raped at a party, I never knew about that. She did come out with allegations when she was younger, in her teens, that because she was left at a hotel, her and her cousins were left at a hotel. They were with some boys. They had sex, did what they did. The boys left them there, so they didn't have no way to get home. So they called me and my husband. Well, everybody knows the type of mother I am. If they could see the type of grandmother I am, you can only imagine the type of mother I was. I always knew where my children were. I had everybody's phone number. You know, old school, lights come on outside, you should be in the house. You ain't in the house, you in trouble. So she wasn't there. She called me and my husband. She said that they were left at some hotel, that some guys grabbed them and took them, and that they were raped and all this stuff. Don't worry about it. We went and picked them up, took her straight to the emergency room. And they checked her out, did a rape kit, everything. She was knocked out. And the lady told me, a rape victim is not going to be sleeping like that. If you just got raped, there's no way you're going to be sleeping like that. You're going to be terrified. You don't know who these people were, whatever. They got cameras. They showed us cameras where they walked into this hotel with these guys. And there were teenage boys just like she was. But these were high schoolers, and they were getting ready to go to college. So it showed them walking in willingly. It showed the guys leave, and they got left behind. So, in other words, they did what they did with you, and they left. So then, the detectives and everything were coming out, and it showed that she wasn't raped. None of that happened. I got to keep it kind of low because, I do have custody of my grandchildren, and they are far away from me where they can't hear because I don't bring none of this to them. So, with that being said, the detective grilled her and she lied. Her and her cousins lied about it because they got left. And her dad did whoop her ass, because that's something serious. You don't do shit like that. These guys were going to college and this was going to mess them up, for life. So that's what happened on that. If she got raped at some party, I never knew about it because I would have did what I was supposed to do as a mother. So on that note, everything that she's saying about, when my husband died and what, I went through or whatever, all that she's saying about Jay Sean, all that is alleged. We don't have facts. We don't know nothing. She said they were checked out. We don't know nothing about none of that because with that, we don't know because I just on some of the reports, it doesn't say that she followed through with everything. So if you don't follow through with everything, no one's going to know. It came from my grandkids, the two older ones that said that, no, it didn't. They didn't go. This is my daughter, Unique.
I was on Olivia's page.
Hold on. Okay.
My mother.
Hold on. Okay. So, so the girl said that she had them lie because that she wanted to get with Jay Sean and he turned her down, and she didn't like him at the moment, and they came up with that lie and said that he did it. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm a firm believer. When my grandkids say, I believe what they say. Just like, yes, I did call CPS October 31st of 2023. If CPS would have listened to me then and pulled these kids out, Janiyah will still be here, and my grandkids wouldn't have went through the hell that they went through with Jasmine and her girlfriend Kiara. So I called because my grandkids told me that how they were being abused by Jasmine and Kiara, how they had to wake up early in the morning and stand up like 5, 6 in the morning, stand up military style with their hands behind their back. They only had 7 minutes to eat. All they could eat was sandwiches. When I got them, they couldn't eat really. The food that I was introducing that were all normal to eat, they had diarrhea for months until they got used to eating regular food, drinking stuff, because she only allowed them to drink water. That was it, not even flavored water. And she can't say that I'm lying because that was at the searches. We took chips, water.
Okay, we back. I can't hear her right now. Okay. Yeah, I can't hear her. We'll see what's going on. I can't hear you right now. I can X out and let y'all come back. I'm gonna let y'all come back. Okay? Let me X out. All right. So remove. All right. So they'll be coming right. I want them to come right back in, and it just happens. We've been live for a while, so all type of stuff happening. Were you live like this? Okay. Yeah, it's doing it again. It's muted. Okay. Here. Who reported this live like this?
Yeah. Can you hear her now?
I can hear now. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just with all that, I'm sorry. With all that being said, there's she's just, to me, when I was watching this, she's just bringing up stuff that to bash my family because she is in an abusive relationship and they're very controlling. And I have a recording that I am going to share with you from a prior relationship that Kiera was in, that this girl ended up losing her child and they gave her 4 years prison time and she did 2 years and lost her child because Kiera and her mom, they were abusing this child. And she said, when I was explaining everything that was going on, she said it was like deja vu for her. She was crying and she was scared because she said that's the same thing they did to her. So the kids said they could only have 7 minutes to eat. They had to hurry up and eat a sandwich. If they didn't eat, they weren't going to eat. They have to ask to go to the bathroom. She got to sit in there with them to go to the bathroom.
And I've witnessed this personally because she did rekindle her relationship with me back around last year in the beginning of the year. And I was going only over there with my child because my mom asked me to make sure that the kids were okay. So I was going over there, and the way she was treating those kids versus Kiera's nieces that were over there was completely different. Like, these kids were not the kids we were used to growing up, and they've lived with me and my mom our whole lives.
Yes. So, everybody's seen this abuse. Let's put it out there. She wants to talk mess, and I'm all about the facts since day one. You see my shirt. This is all what I'm about. Find my granddaughter. That's what I'm about. Do I believe Jasmine and Kiera did something to my granddaughter? Yes, I do. I do. In court, Jasmine failed her lie detector test. In court, it was said, and this was said by the feds, she failed her lie detector test. Kiera opted out of the lie detector test and lawyered up. Walked out, never went back. Those are facts. That is in the records.
And that's direct connection to your granddaughter's missing person case, correct?
Yes. Okay. To Janiah McMichael's missing. Okay. Yes. She was asked 3 questions. Do you know where Janiah is at? Can you take us to Janiah? And do you know what happened to Janiah? Those were the 3 questions that the feds said. And she failed. Why you fail? If you didn't have nothing, you didn't do nothing to her. And I seen her on the live. Why are you getting pissed off? This ain't a pissed off thing. This is about trying to find your daughter and my granddaughter. And why is she talking about her in the past tense? Because I've never talked about my granddaughter in the past tense, and I never will, because I don't know if she's in the past tense or not. Only she could be the only one, and Kiera could be the only one to answer that. That's all I want to know. Where is my granddaughter? All this about that, that I was drinking when my husband died, that ain't got shit to do with nothing. Me, what did she say that about what happened to me? That is all irrelevant. The point is the date of when it happened. I got the police report that I picked up. She made the report at 7 in the morning, said that she was with me at my house. She called me at 7:40 because my alarm goes off at 7:45 before I got up, and said, if Janiah's with you, you and Janiah are going to jail. I jumped up. What are you talking about? Yeah. She said, Janiah ran away last night and she's supposed to be pregnant. That was news to me. I ain't never heard about that. I started going off. What are you talking about? What's going on? And I'm calling Unique to see, hey, has Janiyah reached out to you? I'm calling everybody. I called Antonio. I called his mom. I called Darnell. Everyone, anybody that I could think of. I went to work. Before I got off work, my nieces made a whole bunch of missing flyers, and we were out there ever since that day. We go to her house. I called her. What's going on, Jazz? What happened? Where you at? Oh, we out searching. I'm on my way to her house. I pull up, knock on her door. She come outside. She was asleep.
Oh, and let's not forget how the first day she was sound asleep while we're out searching, and also told us we're doing too much to find her daughter because we're making Facebook posts to send out an alert. And not only that, when I left work, when she called me, no, get down. And I left work to go over there.
Right.
She had dirt on her shoes. Then she changed her shoes when everyone else came over.
Go have a seat. Okay, you're okay. Go sit down.
Here.
She had dirt on her shoes when you went over there?
She did. And that was the first thing I noticed when I was hugging her, because her saying she just blocked me away from her life. Me and Jasmine have been close my whole life. Come on now. What do I have to lie for? The fact of the matter is she shouldn't be on your live, because I watched the whole live, yelling at everybody, saying fuck everyone, showing zero emotion when my mom has done lives, podcasts, crying. This is her granddaughter, not her daughter. So the fact that she can't show emotion for her own child is crazy.
And since day one, she said, take my post down. I said, why would I take my post down on Facebook? She's missing. She said, because the detective said to take it down because whoever has her is going to move further away with her.
And the detective
Well, what are you talking about? I talked to the detective. He said he never said that. They wouldn't tell you to do that. That's why they have the first 48. Right. There's a reason why there's a first 48. Mm-hmm. You know, those are the crucial moments. Let's get this. How do we know she was missing that day? I don't believe it. I believe it was before then. She just said something because school was going to be in session the next day because they were moved to another school. So that is a fact. Yeah. And she needed to say, oh, where's this child? She had to say something. So those are all lies. Was Janiyah pregnant? No, I don't believe Janiyah was pregnant.
Because her story, which she wouldn't give you guys detail, because like I said, I was watching the live. Her story of her being pregnant, she sat here and told us and then lied to the police a whole different story, that she never gave her a pregnancy test. She just was watching her and didn't see any blood on her pad. So she got into it with her that night. And then after they got into it, she said Janiyah stormed up to her room. And let's not forget, she literally told us that she said she would beat the baby out of her. Who says that to a 13-year-old who you think is pregnant? You used to work at Family Dollars. You know how much a pregnancy test costs. You can buy $1 pregnancy test. And only because I kept going over there, because she cut all contact again with my mom. I kept going over there for my mom during all of this happening and recording stuff that they were sitting here bashing her. Kiara's mother was saying how her vagina is hot. They were saying she's going to get what she deserved. They were laughing. And she's not saying nothing to them. And I'm just standing there like, there's no way, saying she's out here running around with gangs and all type of stuff. Come on now. You're lying. And I'm your sister. I know when you're lying. Just this whole life. No remorse at all. Jasmine is nothing but a pathological liar. She believes her own lies. And yes, she is in an abusive relationship. She left those kids at that house that she claimed that she was moving out of.
They weren't moving.
No. Me and my mom went over there and fed those kids. They were outside throwing up in front of the ambulance and the police. CPS got called on her, and I'm inside the house. She's forcing the kids to clean up or they're going to take her away. They're going to take them away from her. And the only reason why she was able to keep them kids was because my mom allowed her to move in my house. Well, not even our house. She allowed them to move in order to keep the kids. Just how she tried to sit here and bash my mom and say that my mom didn't try to help her and using her medical excuse as a reason not to. She has custody of these kids now, like Jasmine just admitted on live. Her mom has them. Our mom has them. Come on now. You just said that she allowed them to get molested in her care and stuff like that, but look at where they're at now. You're the one who can't be trusted.
I sent you that on your text messages where Janaya, because my number's on the flyer. So since day one, my number's been there. I got all type of calls, all tips, all type of stuff, and her little friends were reaching out. Where that one friend reached out and asked me. That's why I sent the proof. Did Janaya tell you that Kiara, her mom's girlfriend was touching her? No. How? Molesting her. It says right there. It's the proof. I don't have to lie about it. So what are they trying to do? Trying to cover it up? My second oldest granddaughter is the one who said that Kiara's dad is the one, the stepdad, Nathaniel Walker, is the one that was molesting her and molesting Denia. And they took it because he said he was going to go down to the next two little ones. And they just took it because they didn't want him touching them. You could ask her. I mean, why, you can't ask her because, she's a minor, but this came from her. There's no reason for me to know that.
The sister, the sibling that it came from, just if you can back up, tell me the sibling it came from again that said that she knows that Nathaniel, we talking about 62-year-old Nathaniel Walker was indeed, taking advantage of Janaya and her, I guess the second oldest, if I'm saying
second oldest, right.
Second oldest. I'll just say second oldest. I'm trying not to say her name on the live stream.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say her name neither. Yeah, right.
Second
right.
oldest. And she witnessed this, and this was discussed with police or CPS.
She disclosed it to her godmother, which is Jasmine, and Jasmine's the one who I don't know, Seed or maybe the last name. Oh, Sneed, right? And I will send you her phone number, and she's willing to talk. And and I have that recording as well, where she said that because she sent Deja out there with her because Deja was a problem out here. So she was gonna let Deja, and look, I'm saying her name, but anyway, she said she was gonna let her be out there for the summertime, and she was gonna keep her and stuff. And Kiara made her come back. She was mad. My granddaughter did not want to go back to that home. She was crying and screaming, all type of stuff. She didn't want to go back, but she did tell her godmother what Nathaniel Walker did to her and to Janaya.
And that's just like they didn't even want to go back to her when Olivia had custody of her kids. So while she's bashing Olivia had custody of her kids. But she only took them back because Kiara made her. Kiara controls everything she does in their relationship. I'm trying to find myself. That's why I don't have Facebook. All of that is a lie. Jasmine has had Facebook for years upon end, posting her entire life. So at the fact that you just magically are off of Facebook, disconnected from the world, can't nobody see your kids. Yes, Darnell was allowing my mom to see them kids. Why? Because they've had a relationship with her this whole time. And the fact that she's sitting here trying to paint Kiara's family to be all holy, they're not. They were all talking mess about Janaya when she first got missing, laughing about the situation. They thought it was funny. They even called the police because the people who were searching across the street were us. We were across the street looking in abandoned buildings. She called the police
on us. And they didn't do nothing to us because we weren't doing nothing but passing out flyers and knocking on doors and asking about their cameras, if their doorbell cameras, if they could please, look at them, if there's anything they see, if they could report it. Also, the mom was on there yesterday talking about that I'm the one who said that Janaya was pregnant. How would I even say that if we didn't even see the kids? I didn't see them kids for a whole year. Since April, because she didn't let us see them, and we only seen Janaya on her birthday just that day. And my boyfriend did take them cupcakes, and because they were sneak calling me and telling me that they were fighting in the home and everything that was getting done to them. When I went in her house and I looked in their rooms, all that was in there was a bed and nothing else. There wasn't no dresser in their room. There wasn't no toys. There wasn't no TV, nothing. And she always told them, go to the room, stay in the room. So what do you want kids to do?
The first day she went missing, and I went back over there because because her second oldest called my phone and said, hey, Titi, can you bring the baby over so we could play? Trying to take their mind off of things that are going on. I told her, I said, yeah, that's fine. I ended up showing up, but I left my son at home because I felt like the environment wasn't safe for him to be over there. And I asked her, I said, where are the kids at? Oh, they're asleep. Girl, it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Why are they upstairs in their room? And eventually they came downstairs. They were never asleep. You have these kids locked away 24/7 in their rooms, God knows what, and you're not feeding them because they're malnourished. And when they got with my mom, she has records and everything. They've gained weight with her, properly taken care of in therapy and everything, stuff that Jasmine has not done for these kids. So, and she's the person who really needs therapy because you're messing your kids' lives up and you don't even know it.
My one of the, because she has twins, and the boy, he's never had, the only time he ever had shots was when he was 2 weeks old. Then the doctor was like, how does one twin, the female is caught up, she only needed one, but the male only got it up to 2 weeks old. So we're on a series of shots. Well, the female gets a check, so of course you got to be on it for the Social Security place. If you ain't up to date with all the stuff, you know, they're gonna question it. They ain't gonna give you no money. So yeah, of course that one was, but it's odd that they're twins. You would take them together to get shots. Look, get the cord. So that's crazy. The dental is crazy. Never been to the dentist. We're on a series of dentists of going out with all of them because they've never been to a dentist. So medical neglect is there, but they want to bash me.
The sound went out again. Yeah, I can't hear right now. And if they don't come back, we can always reconnect. That's what's going on. I can't stop them from doing what they doing, but the devil not gonna win because the truth is coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out. I thought hard and long. I thought for a minute before I brought Nathaniel's name up, and I'm glad that I did. I just waited, though. I waited until I felt like I had enough reasonable evidence that I had gathered before I brought his name up. But I'm glad that I did. 62-year-old Nathaniel Williams. I'll be doing a lot of research into his background. I asked a private investigator if she will help me as well. Thank you. Okay, we back. I think I can hear.
Okay, yeah, it would only let her join audio.
Okay, audio. Wow. Okay.
So I don't know. It's just she got on there to defend Kiara's family, but to bash us. But when it came to talk about Janaya,
she avoided all questions.
She avoided everything. Why is there to be mad about? If you have nothing to hide, you have not been in one social media. You haven't been on the news. You did not let them. So a lot of people ask this. A lot of people ask, why wasn't there an Amber Alert put right away for her? Because she reported her as a runaway. So then I was with this other group about trafficking. I can't think the name of it, but the Doc Alice Foundation, I think it's called. Okay, I was with them, and they were gonna do a silver alert. She had to give the permission. I gave permission right away. Let's do everything, whatever you got to do to find my granddaughter. She did not give them permission, so they couldn't do it.
Wow.
Finally, the police ended up doing it when they seen that this was really a missing person.
Right.
So why are you blocking all these avenues that people are trying to do for you to bring your daughter home? Even the principal at the school told me that she tried to help them search and everything, and she said, no, we're okay, we don't need no help, we're all fine, it's all good. You sound crazy. So all of this stuff that she's doing, why are you doing it? Because you know where my granddaughter's at. You know what you guys did to her. What did my granddaughter do? What can a child do that you would get rid of them. Like, there's nothing that Janiyah could have did for her not to be here. So it brings me back that you falling hard for this female over your kids, because when them kids was in that house,
that
messed up house,
she was leaving them there, and this is Unique speaking, and I can this is a fact. She was leaving them there by herself. Like I said, me and Jasmine had a close relationship. She was telling me about how she was with the girl and everything. She was leaving them overnight at home by themselves with no food, and she's saying she was saying how none of her family was sending food over there. That's a lie. Our oldest sister was Instacarting food to that house because Janiyah was getting in contact with her, telling her that there was no food there. So what was she doing? She was Instacarting food over there in order to feed those kids. So all of that stuff that house she was moving out of, that was a lie. She was currently living in that house, and that house was always in that condition.
And when she said that Janiyah was with an aunt, they're saying that Janiyah was with my oldest, Twyla. That's a lie, because she wasn't. She was never there. We couldn't even see the kids. So, like she said it herself, she cut us off because of Kira and them. So, no, Twyla did not have her. Twyla has cameras. Twyla's not going to jeopardize her career and her family over that. No, you're lying, because that didn't even happen. So there's a lot of stuff that Jasmine is, I mean, she's just a big old liar. Why? Because you're trying to take the heat off of you guys.
And it was a question you asked her on the live that I seen when I was watching off of Olivia's page. You had asked her about the clothing situation and about what that she had on, and I had wrote it in my notes too, hoping that I was going to be able to speak to you. And she was saying, oh, she's not going to go into detail, knowing that that's public information, but she changed up what she was wearing before. When she first talked to us, she didn't tell us that that was what she was wearing, and she gave them a false description of her. How do you not know your daughter's correct height and weight? You gave them height and weight that would be to like a 10-year-old, not a 13-year-old.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. It was 4 feet tall, and she stuck with the 4 feet tall for a while. Like it took you all coming out.
She's not.
Yeah.
I'm 5'1", and Janiyah is taller than me. Yes. When I last seen her on her birthday, she was taller than me, and I'm 5'1", so that's not accurate at all.
And also, let me bring this up. I heard when she played that recording about Kevin Collins. Okay, and that's fine. Kevin does not like me because from day one, I seen Kevin was on bullshit, and I called him out. I'm a very blunt person, and I'm a very loud person, and I will tell you how it is, because I don't phony kick it, and that's just how I am, and I called him out on his stuff. He didn't like me for that, and that's okay. I'm fine. But if you want to be the one to find my granddaughter, find her. I'm all for anybody finding my granddaughter. Just bring her home. I don't care who finds her. Bring her home. He said he gave me $500. Show me the proof, because you didn't give me nothing. When I did put the post out that I had my grandkids, because they came to me with zero, I had 6 of them. CPS gave them to me with nothing, and I have nothing for them. So what am I supposed to do? I put it out there, and I asked for donations of clothing, and that was it. I never asked for money. I don't do that. I never, like he was asking for gas cards and all that. When you volunteer, you're volunteering. That's the word, volunteer. You're not asking for money. You're going to pay out of your pocket for gas. You're going to feed yourself, or whatever it is you're doing, it's going to come out of your pocket. He never gave me any money. Never, ever. The beds, yes, they did come from DCS. Where do I got beds for 6 kids? I did when my grandkids prior would come over, I didn't get them all at one time. I would get some, and I had blow-up beds. That's all I had. So let's put it out there, Jasmine. Tell the truth. October, November, I got my grandkids October 8th. They were taken October 5th of the raid. When I got them, October, November, and December, Jasmine got from I think it was 1,800 to 2,000 in food stamps for these kids. We didn't get none of that. She got it, and then She reapplied in December, knowing she still didn't have these kids, where they could have gave me the stamps to feed these kids. She reapplied and got the money for them. So how fucking, you're just a fucking, I don't even know what to call her, because you don't do that to your own kids. You're not hurting me because I could feed myself. You're hurting these kids. But what do? Me, my family, my nieces, everybody, my other daughters, we're the ones that came. We bought the food. We bought them clothes. And clothes came in also as donations. Good used clothes. She said that she bought them coats. Them coats, I bought them October 31st of 23. They came with those coats. I had went and got them coats, brand new coats. We all got them stuff. All the money that we had that came in from our jobs and stuff, we bought them new coats. And then one day they came back from a visit with coats. I thought they were new. They came nighttime the next day. Those are the coats that I bought in October. The last time I seen them physically in October 31st of 23. So she's lying. They didn't buy no coats. Did they buy school clothes? Yes, they did come with school clothes. Yes, they did bring school clothes. Yeah, half the clothes did not fit them. So that came, but that was it. We had to buy more stuff. Did I ever ask her? I did ask one time. I told CPS, tell mom to buy the groceries for her kids and send them. I don't need your food stamp card. I don't have to go to the store. You know what your kids like? Buy it. She told them yes. She never brought it. We're in February. She never bought it. She got a check for one of her kids that received Social Security, 900 and something. She got it for October, November, and December. So make that make sense. And knowing that your kids need stuff here. Yeah, I wasn't working. I had already took a leave of absence for Janiyah starting August, and I only had 3 months. I had to go back, but then this happened in October. So now I was on FMLA with no pay. If people know FMLA, you don't get paid from FMLA. I was on a short leave before, but now I have no income. So I'm relying on my family members and my boyfriend Jose to pay for everything because I didn't have no money. So all this that she's saying is lies. Why did you hang up? Because you can't keep up with your lies. You don't remember what you're saying. You keep talking about my granddaughter in the past tense. Why are you talking about her in the past tense? Because y'all know. And then Yolanda came out one day when we were out searching. She passed by us with Nathaniel in the car, laughing at us. And that's what Tina was talking about. When she passed by, she was laughing at us and talking about shooting us. I didn't hear no gunshots. There was no gunshots, but she did say that. So then I called the police. Why are you laughing? This ain't no laughing matter. You're laughing at us because we look stupid as fuck because we're searching in the wrong place. So obviously you must know where she's at. So do I believe they all had something to do with it? Yes, I do. Because Jasmine does what Kiera says. Kiera does what her mother says, and that's how it goes. And I told them, and I told this to the detectives, I told this to the police, and I will tell it to you on live. If I ever come up dead or missing from this, it's because of Jasmine McMichael, Kiera Bates, Yolanda Walker, and Nathaniel Walker and that family. Yes, that would, if I was to come up missing or dead, that's who did it to me. And because they threatened us and they did shoot at us a couple times when we were out there because we seen that white car pulling off when we would come out of the woods. So, and these are volunteers. Yolanda told a volunteer, oh, I wasted a whole tank of gas. So the volunteer looked at her and she's like, well, I didn't mean to say that I wasted, I just been out here. No. So I gave the detective that and gave the girl's name because she was a volunteer, and she talked to the detective because she was on a search with them, and that came from them. So the day that I called the police on them, Yolanda came back around, and I told the police, there she goes. Who comes back around? Because Yolanda went and called all her family members. There was about 5 cars deep, and who pops out? Her daughter, Kiera. They all pop out. We're not here to scrap. We ain't here to fight. This ain't no gang, no nothing. We're here to find a child. That's it. Why does it have to escalate to this all the time?
Yeah.
Like when we had the second search, it escalated because Jasmine got on the phone and was calling all of Kiera's people because I told her, Darnell's coming to the search. She said that was fine. I have pictures of Darnell with the kids that were so happy to see him because no, she was not letting Darnell see them kids. She cut him off. And no, she was not letting me. And I got text messages where I'm texting every day, every week.
That my mom was harassing her all the time for the kids and stuff like that. Yeah, checking on them because they're calling her saying that you guys are abusing them and neglecting them.
Yep, and Darnell was not allowed to see them kids. So
at all
she's
for
lying.
A whole year.
Yes. So Darnell was with the kids and he was going to take one of the twins across the street and she was on the phone with Kiera and whatever Kiera done said to her pissed her off
and all her family
grabbed all the kids. She grabbed I think it was the boy. She grabbed him really bad. So Darnell did muff her, like, why don't grab him like that? Because you're hurting him. And she called all of Kiera's people there. So that happened at the search is her fault. He's still incarcerated because of what happened. He got bit up 50 times from the police dog. He did black out. He was mad. I understand. Janai, she wants to say, in her life, she was saying her stepdad, Darnell, May, and
that girl has called him
he has been her dad since day one. Nobody is saying that Antonio is not her biological father, because we all know that he is, but Darnell has been there since day one. She calls him dad. So for her to say that, she that he was never there for her or whatever. Yes, he was. He's always been there since day one. That's why he was at the search. And he's still incarcerated for it because of what happened that day. She put charges on him, choking charges, that he was strangling her. There's strangling charges. There were not strangling charges. People were out there and seeing it all. And he's still in there. And he's sick. He has cancer now. He just found out. So, it's a sad situation.
And she was mad at him because he wasn't coming out to search, because I'm hearing all of this. She's arguing with him.
Yeah.
You're not coming out here to search and this and that. But the one time he does come and he brings his family with him because they've been wanting to come, but to avoid altercations with her, they didn't come. So when he did come, look at the stuff that you pulled.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be for your daughter. This didn't have nothing to do with anything. Now you got people who don't even want to come help us search because they think it might be chaos.
Yeah.
And because one of Kiera's family members pulled a gun out, like, your kids aren't here. Like, there's not people's kids who are here to help search. So what are we supposed to do now? Now we're doing this by ourselves. Now my mom's doing this by herself, losing connections to help her search because of the shit that Jasmine is doing.
Yeah, so we do our searches. We just don't post them or anything because for our safety, or volunteers that come out with us for their safety. But when we get the chance, we do it. One of her kids say that their mom and Kiera put Janiyah in the water. Her kids are saying it. So come on. And I have that. And the feds have seen that. Everything that I get, I don't question my grandchildren. But when they talk, I record. Because I'm listening. I'm not questioning. We don't question. We listen. And kids talk. And they remember. And they have nightmares. And they wet the bed. Are they still doing that? No, they don't do that anymore. Because they feel safe here. Yep. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And she wants to put herself out there, and Kiera, blame us for this, that we're doing this. No, we don't do that. Because since day one, my grandchildren, I have 11 grandchildren, and I've been in all their lives since day one. All of Jasmine's kids, since they've been born, me and my husband has always bought them every season, winter, summer, spring, fall. We've always bought them clothes. We always bought them their uniforms, their shoes, their coats. When she says we don't have a relationship, we're not going to have a relationship. When you walk up in my house and you're all decked out, looking dope as hell, and my kids look like they're homeless. And she didn't want to hear my mouth, so she would turn around and walk out. Because I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. These kids are not dressed right. You get all these taxes, but they're not dressed right. You're not living right. That's crazy. When we went to that house that day and then pictures came out, my grandchildren are throwing up. Unique, she went and bought them some food. As soon as they ate it, they were throwing up because they weren't eating. They were home alone all the time because she was with Kiara, sleeping at Kiara's house and all of that.
And let's not forget, and everyone keeps saying, oh, how can a mother hurt her? And she was even saying on the live, Janiyah helps me the most. How can I sit here and do something to her? Why would I this, and that? Jasmine has told these kids multiple times when they make her upset, I hate you guys. I'm going to send you guys away. I'm just going to let them come and take you guys. Multiple times you have told your children that you hate them. I would never sit here and tell my child I hate them, let alone be trying to fucking take a vacation for Thanksgiving out of state. And my mother has custody of the kids. I'm fucking denying visits so I can go on vacation with my girlfriend instead of seeing my damn kids. Or instead of fucking out here looking for your daughter, you're trying to take a damn vacation.
And she's telling the truth when she said that she knows how to love. Yeah, she knows how to love whoever she's with at the moment. Does she love her kids? No, she doesn't. She's never loved these kids because she's told them herself. People have hurt her. She goes hard for whoever she's with and not her children. So her saying that, that she was, what did she say? That she was cleared by the feds, her and Kiara. If anybody knows better, the feds are not going to come tell you, oh, you're cleared. The feds ain't going to tell you if you're cleared or you're not cleared. Because when the feds come, they're coming for a reason. And they're not going to tell you anything. She should know that.
If I'm not mistaken, she said in your live she contacted the feds or something of the sort of her initiating the feds coming into this case. No, she didn't. The feds picked this up because the Gary Police Department wasn't doing their job and someone gave a tip. And that's how because this is serious. You're not allowing people to put out Amber Alerts, only a silver alert. There should be no reason, and you show no emotion when there's been multiple missing females in Gary recently whose parents and shit are on live and on the news crying. You have not showed an ounce of emotion, but you're sitting here saying you don't owe the world to show them no emotion. She don't owe you to show emotion. She don't owe Kevin to show emotion. Only Tierra and her family. Why? I don't care if that's my kid and she's missing. I'm crying every day. There's not a second that the time she wasted on that live sitting at her mother-in-law's house is the time your ass could have been outside searching for your kid because your mother still stays in the same fucking area your daughter went missing. And then she's going around that area where she supposedly said Janiyah was last seen, snatching down her posters. We go ask them. Olivia has went into a store the other day and asked him like, hey, what happened to my niece's poster that was posted? He said, oh, I talked to the mother and the mother told me that it needs to be taken down because she just ran away. She's not missing. So he let her take it down. Right up the street from your house where she supposedly went missing, you're telling these people she's not missing, she's a runaway. And you only said she's a runaway because you ran away before and back then to go do whatever you needed to do, and you know they're not going to search and take a runaway serious. That's why you reported her as a runaway, because a missing persons would have put too much fucking heat on you. We had to get that shit changed into a missing persons report.
Yeah. And she hasn't had her kids since October 5th. Why aren't you out looking? You're not losing no sleep over Janiyah. But we are. And when Janiyah went missing, she told me herself. She said, I told these kids, who the fuck wants to be next? Y'all can follow Janiyah. How do you say that to these children? What does that say of you? So, and I have taped every recording that I have talked to her with because I do not trust her. I don't trust her. She's my daughter, but I don't know her. I do not know her. So that's just where I stand. I believe that they did something to her. They know where she's at. Just tell us already. Come on, it's cold out here. Who knows if she's eating? Who knows if she's warm? We don't know if she had a drink of water. When all this first started, I couldn't drink no water because I feel bad because I don't know if my granddaughter's drinking water. I don't know if my granddaughter's eating. Is she safe? Is somebody hurting her? Is she even here? We don't know nothing. And she told me to back down and stay in my place. How the fuck you gonna tell me to back down and stay in my place? So what does that say about you? Why would you tell me that? To let her do it because she's the mom.
Oh, well, yeah, she wanted to be in lead, in charge of everything. She wants to lead everything. She felt like my mom was overstepping because you're not doing shit. You're not putting enough effort into finding your damn kids. We're taking off of work. We're leaving straight from work, leaving our kids with people to come help find your child. Your mother-in-law, the same, Kiara's mom, who wants to sit here, she couldn't even watch her kids for them to go search. She wouldn't even allow them to use her car to go out and search.
Yeah.
And while she's talking about she believes Jania's in a different city, then why aren't you guys going to Chicago? We were in Chicago posting up flyers. Our family were posting, making posters and shit in Chicago. You haven't been putting in zero effort. All this groundwork you keep saying that you're doing, you're not doing shit but sitting on your ass.
I have a question. Do you all know or have any inkling as of why I had gotten reports from several people saying that those houses on the next block, Carolina Street, was being guarded so heavily by different people that know Jasmine? Like, what is it with Carolina Street? It's right there on the next block.
I don't know, but I do know we didn't see none of that, but I could say that we did when we were doing our searching, because we were out there like 7-8 cars deep. Everybody was packing for our safety, and we were going into all these abandoned houses around her area. We covered a lot of ground, and we went into, I can't say we hit every house, abandoned house, but we damn near did. The houses, the churches, stores. I don't know if there's that. I know we were on them streets. I can't say if it was Carolina or not. If it's right over, right behind her or in front of her or whatever. We were in those. Maybe we missed one. I don't know.
So from what I gathered, it was a high possibility. I'm just going on things that I don't know for sure, based on information shared with me, that she could either have been at some point. It's an abandoned house on Carolina Street. You have to go. You can go through Jasmine's back door, go down the alley a little bit to the left. There's a gate. I have a picture of the gate. You go through it, and then it's kind of wide open, like where you can walk straight through, like the back of the house. And that could have been a possibility that was guarded. People saw Jasmine and Kiera in the alley, like not just in the alley, but just right in the back, just kind of seeing who's coming through the alley, watching everything. Also, I was on the phone. There's a lot of things, like I know I catch a lot of heat, but I did hold back on a lot of things just because I just didn't want to have the public all up in a stir, and then that's not what it is. But I was on the phone with Mr. Collins, and the caller just didn't know that I was on that call when this caller called and stated that caller had overheard some information that they shouldn't have overheard, and it was a high probability, or they were basically saying that she was at some point placed in a home. It's either 2025 Ohio Street or 2020. I'm sorry, 2025 or 2026. I got to go back to Google Maps. It's an abandoned home. It has red trimming. I posted it. I talked about it today. I talked about it yesterday. And you can, go right over there if you like to. That was a high possibility.
Yes, I will.
And so this was a conversation that this was kind of between me and Kevin. And after hearing that and hearing how scared the lady was, of course, just really, really frightened. And I could tell the sincerity in her that she really, really did know something, didn't want anything linked back to her, that I decided, well, at that point, based on that information, some other information given as well, I wanted to meet with the Lake County Sheriff Office. I know I'm not nowhere near Gary, Indiana right now, but I wanted to do a virtual call. And I was saying that because I wanted to discuss these things. So early on, this was months ago when this came across this came across my desk, so to speak, you know, accidentally, because like I said, I wasn't even supposed to be on the call, but he was like, you know, just muted or whatever, and I heard what she was saying. So I wanted to talk to them about the house on the next block on Carolina Street, the one that's kind of wide open. I have a picture of the gate. You can go through the gate. And I want to talk to them about Ohio Street. And I have a picture of the house, and it was described to the T. And so and they refused to meet with me. And it's a shame, because there are some homes that could have been searched way back in August. And it just really is. I'm very sorry that they just didn't care enough about this case. No one seemed to have cared. The Indiana State Police, the Lake County Sheriff's Office. I actually asked someone to talk to a relative of the Lake County Sheriff himself. That's how serious I've been about this case. When I said, do y'all remember me doing a live saying I'm requesting to meet with the Lake County Sheriff? Do y'all remember that?
Yes,
that was that. Because there was the information that I had that we needed to discuss, in hopes that they would go ahead and go into these places and whatever they needed to do. So that could have been like ruled out, so to speak, had they searched certain homes. There's specific homes that Mr. Collins did not go into. He told me he would go into them, but he did not go into those homes. I'm not blaming him, but he just didn't. It was scary. He said people were guarding these homes, and when he pulled up, he's saying that they're out there, and he was saying it was going to be a shootout. That's how serious it was. It was certain homes from Carolina Street all the way to Ohio, and I don't know what that was about. He's not the only one saying that. A young lady drove from Crown Point over there in that area, tried to approach that street, called me and said, I'm gonna keep it moving. These people aren't lying to you. These abandoned homes on this day, that is really being guarded for real. You get where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So, and don't live Crown Point, don't live in Gary at all. So it's just a shame that the ball was dropped to the extent. I don't know what's going on now. Or what has happened, or where she may have been transported. But I do know what I can do, and what I said I was going to do. I'm going to track down every location that Mr. I know Nathaniel Walker has resided. He has multiple residences for some reason. He has 2 places. He has an apartment on Carolina Street. He has Virginia Street as well. It's listed as his business address. It's an apartment. It's like another apartment complex, if you're familiar. It's like 2 different ones, right? So I'm going to give up all that information, except for I can't give out exact addresses, but cities that he has ties to, the cities that his trucking company has ties to, because I want anyone who believe they have seen anything suspicious in connection with any semi-truck that he has been in, whether it be the white one or the black one, to call the FBI. And I'm serious about that. And so there has to be some closure. There's just no way that they have been acting the way they've been acting and being so, and I hate to go on and on, but so overprotective and allegedly harassing people, shooting at people, all of that. Why were y'all participating in all of this if you had nothing to hide? You get where I'm coming from?
Yes, exactly. And any addresses, any streets, just, because I stopped watching these lives a long time ago. I'm not on here like that because, for one, because it hurts me, because that's my granddaughter, and she just is, everything. I had even seen somebody send me some about a YouTube that they made a video about it. It's just, this is just all ridiculous. I don't watch this stuff because I'm very emotional. And I do have my grandchildren, and I don't have time, just like I don't have the time to search. Only when they do go out to their visits, to see mom or whatever, then I would go out, for the little time that I have. And so yes, please, just if you could send it to me, send me through messages, messenger,
Yeah, I sure
whatever,
will.
and me and my family will go out and look. And I don't go out alone because of what has
Yeah.
happened, and I have to be mindful that I'm still caring for my
Right.
grandchildren. But yes, I appreciate it.
I'll
And
send you
yes, I
information
mean,
directly to
eh,
you. Yes, absolutely.
yeah, anybody, I mean, you have a lot of followers, everything and anything. If there's something small that you think that you could remember, it could be something big for us, you know. And like any little tip that we come in, any tips or anything that we get, we follow up, because we have to make sure, and chief, no, what's that, sheriff, is he a sheriff or a chief? Cannon, is it Cannon?
Yes,
He's a
Derek
chief.
Cannon, Chief.
Is it Derek
Yes, that's his
Cannon?
name.
Yeah, okay.
Derek Cannon.
Okay. Okay, he reaches out to me like every other
Okay.
week. He has been doing that.
Okay, that's
So
great.
I'm real appreciative of that. As far as the detective Faison, or however you say his
Phasing.
name, he's not good on reaching back out every now and then. When I'm sending stuff, I gotta say, please let me know you're getting it. Let me know you got this, because I've done send millions, anything, even because I've gotten ransoms. Anything that I get, I send to him, and he's reached out maybe a total of 2 times. That's about it.
Mhm.
But
This
that's it.
is this.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm sorry. It's just
no, go
something that
ahead.
was coming back to me.
Go ahead.
Here's a date that's significant. I listen very closely, which is important. I do a lot of talking, but I do a lot of listening. So I listened to the live stream with Kevin Collins and Nathaniel, and the whole stream was supposed to be about bashing me, but see how God works. God
Yeah.
worked it out in a way that there was some things that Nathaniel shared where he really he didn't do himself any service. And so I was listening to what
Right.
he was saying. I was writing down the dates, and I was just putting two and two together. Here is what he's confident of. He's confident of because he's shared this. And here's what Jasmine McMichael is confident of. They're confident of that there is no DNA evidence or any kind of evidence that would link at least them to a crime in her apartment, right? So he has
Right.
shared that they didn't find anything. He gloated about that. They didn't find anything. They're not going to find anything. I told them to search my cars. He didn't tell them to search his trucks, and they didn't have a warrant. He also mentioned June 29th. He wanted to go on and on about there was no way that she came up missing June 10th, because he said, and he swore by this, that on June 29th, he went to a birthday party that your granddaughter, Janiyah McMichael, was at on June 29th. So he says he goes there on June 29th, but then he also made sure to include on that same day, he rented. I got all of this is recorded, downloaded, all of this. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. It's stored, it's all of that. On that same
Right.
day, he said that he rented a car, which I thought was odd, and he went to Eastern Illinois for work, to start his new job. So I was trying to figure out, he knew that he needed to say June 29th for some reason. That I need to, this is important because maybe it's documented somewhere, maybe on camera, I'm not sure, that he definitely was in the same room or same place with Janiyah on June 29th. So he said, yeah, on June 29th, I went to he didn't say her birthday party. He didn't even really explain who birthday party it was. He did want to make it be known, I went to a birthday party she was at. You 62 years old. You said that same day you also rented a car because it was so important you had to drive to Eastern Illinois, which isn't more than 2 hours away, correct?
Right.
This is what he said. He can never take it back because I got it now. If Colin's whole page get deactivated for whatever reason, God forbid, I got it now. I got it now. I got it. I got part 8 up
Right.
of the live, 38 minutes, and soon as I can get things processed, and I'll have the rest of it up. There was a lot of things shared. So I believe June 29th in terms of a real timestamp, in terms of figuring out how and getting some type of camera footage and where, and tracking him down in terms of they need to track his phone records, the towers. That's how they got Brian Laundrie in the predicament he is. If you heard not, I know what I'm trying. Not Brian Laundrie, but it's another person that he killed some people. They were able to track down his location data is what I'm mentioning. So if they're able to track down his phone location data in terms of between June 29, June 20, or any time in June, where did he go? Then they can figure out, did he go some places that had cameras, businesses, gas stations? For any reason, was Shania actually with him on June 29th? You get where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
He knew that he needed to say this. He needed to say, because there's probably some evidence that he definitely was in the same room or same whatever with her on June 29th. So I want you to and he needed to say he rented a car, that he made sure I rented a car and I traveled to Eastern Illinois to start my new job. I did all this on this day. And I thought that was all strange. You get where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you, as you're saying that, and they're thinking that they're going to he's clearing himself, you're fucking yourself. That's what you're doing. Because you sound, like you rehearsed this, and just like Jasmine, she was being coached while she was doing this live. So that's what they do. They role play, because the kids, when I had called CPS, they said when they know that CPS is coming out, they role play with the kids. And if they don't get the answers right, they get the shit slapped out of them till they answer the questions right. They role play. Because when Jasmine had called me before, she was trying to when we did get caught, when the kids took when Jose took up there some cupcakes, and I told her, I said, Jazz, it was on me. It wasn't the kids. It was on me. I knew it was the last day. Just let them have the cupcakes. That's all I did it for. And she was saying, no, you got caught, and this is why I don't let them talk to you, Jazz. Okay. She said, you didn't tell me nothing, so I'm playing along with her. Okay. I'm sorry that I didn't, get in contact with you, and we did it that way. Don't take it out of the kids. I said, because it was like 50 cupcakes and juices. I said, just take it to the kids at home. Just let them have it. She did not let them take it home. Jose had to return everything, because what am I going to do with 50 cupcakes and juices, And I don't have no kids at home. So he took it back, and she was trying to have a little counseling type on the phone with me, and I said, Jazz, this ain't that. I'm not doing this shit with you on the phone. You ain't no fucking counselor, and whoever the fuck you with ain't no counselor. You trying to, have a phone conversation with me like we're doing some counseling shit. No, this shit is stupid as fuck, because she was trying to question me and all this shit, because that's what the fuck they do, and that's what they do to these kids. So, and as you could see, she was being coached on this shit, just like even when at court, she's always like that, and that's how these kids were too. So it's just a sad situation. Like I said, Kevin wants to, if he finds Janiyah, thank you, find her. You find Janiyah, thank you. Anybody find Janiyah on this audience, I don't care who finds her. We just need to find her. We need answers.
Yeah.
We need answers. My boots cannot be on the streets anymore, on the ground like they were at first, because I have to care for my grandchildren. But when I get the chance, I do it. Please, just let us know where she's at.
Yeah.
I pray that she's still alive. I pray to God that she's still alive. And if she is not, we need to put her to rest. When you grieve, when you lose somebody, you know where they're at. They're at the cemetery. Or if you have them in the urn, you could grieve. We don't know where Janiyah's at. it's the not knowing that is the
Yeah,
worst.
absolutely.
It's the worst. It's worse than anything because we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if she's suffering or if she's not suffering.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
My grandkids, the one that told me that story, does not change. We passed lakes. Mommy and Kiera put Janaya in the water, down in the water. It doesn't change. The story does not change. When when I take my grandchild to bath, the one that's saying it, terrified of the water, terrified, screaming and screaming. And I have to talk to my grandchild and let my grandchild know it is okay. Nothing's going to happen to you. But from the time that water cuts on to the time that water cuts off, my grandchild is screaming. Why? Because they know. My grandchildren know, but they are terrified. They are terrified. So
That's like Jasmine was also gloating on your live how they didn't find any evidence in her house. If they found evidence in her house, and not trying to say that, my niece isn't here with us, but there's many ways that you can get rid of, someone, that you can kill someone. They don't have to bleed. They don't have to do anything of that sort. You can choke someone to death. You can drown them. You can do a lot of things. And not only to mention, they didn't check Kiara's mom's house. They never went over there, and she lives right next door to you. So who's to say you didn't do something and happened to her next door? It just, nothing adds up when it comes to Jasmine and what she says and what she does. She tries to put the blame on everyone else, and it's heart-wrenching because, like my mom did say, it's cold outside. If she's not alive anymore, let us know. We all think about how Janiyah is supposed to be in freshman year next year, how she loved to cheerlead. She's supposed to be on the cheerleading team. I think about her all the time, and I see stuff that reminds me of her because we had a good relationship, and Jasmine took that away from us, from all of us, because of her girlfriend, because she chose to put her girlfriend above and beyond her kids and her family. That girl isolated her from all of us and her kids.
she's brainwashed.
Literally, she's brainwashed. And it's been like that. She's brainwashed her kids to sit here and lie and stick up and just go along with all these lies when it comes to CPS and everything.
Yeah.
She's just no good.
No good.
I'm just at a loss for words. I'll be praying for you all. I'm gonna continue. We're gonna continue to fight for her, and I do definitely want to reach out to some experts in the field that can help to better figure out like what they think has happened. We have former FBI agents and things of that nature that we can reach out to. And while doing so, I'm urging the police department. I'm not saying they're not doing anything, but I'm urging them to say something. I do believe that they should have some kind of press conference. She's 13 years old, and let the community know just how important it is for this case to be solved. The mayor and the chief of police, if nothing else right now, if they don't have enough leads or enough evidence, whatever, it should be a plea made from city officials to the public, letting the public know how important it is for this case to be solved. And so that's just kind of where I am with that. So we're going to just continue to do what we do. If I have to issue another petition, whatever we have to do, we're going to continue to do what we do until this case is solved. Unfortunately, it's just heartbreaking. It doesn't sound very positive what I'm hearing, but unfortunately, it seems like some chain of events, wheels are going in motion until the truth kind of coming out. I'm seeing that happen from yesterday to today, and I believe some of the statements that Mr. Walker has made is going to really help the feds and whoever's investigating, be able to close this case out. I'm really hopeful for that. I'm really hopeful.
Yes, I'm praying. And also, one of my grandkids did say that Janiyah was staying with Yolanda Walker for a while.
Yes.
So let's get in that house. Let's, you know, they did Jasmine's house. Let's get in that house. Let's see what they have in there.
Right.
Because they also did. I wasn't there when I found out that the feds were there. I raced over there, but they had already been there since early. But I did hear that they did take some evidence out of Yolanda's car. So I don't know how true that is, but that was said. So, they want to come on here and they want us, because for the longest, I could have spoke out about all this stuff a long time ago, and I chose not to. But they're bringing the lies out, and we just have to bring the truth out. That's all. That's all it's about. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody. All the volunteers that have came out, everybody that shares, everybody that prays for her. Back in the day, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to bring a missing one home. And we just want Janiyah home, and we want answers.
Absolutely.
We want her
Yes.
home. She doesn't deserve this. No missing person, period, deserves any of
Yes,
this,
absolutely.
and especially a child.
Absolutely.
It's just mind baffling. Like, what could this child have done to you for her not to be
Right.
here? And for you not to show no emotion over your child.
Right. Yeah.
It's not Kiara's child. It's not their family. So I understand that, but this is your kid.
Yeah.
You gave birth to
Yeah.
her. For you
Absolutely.
not to show the emotion, for them to say, why is the grandma always doing this and doing that when the mom should be doing it? And because she says she's walked around her house, why have you only walked around your house? Because you know where she's really at? You don't want to go no further? Like, the shit just don't make no sense. None of this does. But thank you. I appreciate your time. And